Hello everyone. Um, so thank you for your comments and for watching video number 1. So a vital truth is being deliberately hidden from you and the public. What are the consequences of this hidden truth on you and your entourage? The book's whose title is World Emergency, Save Humanity, Go for the healing miracle of the optimal vegan diet and stop the crime against humanity. An investigation and a memoir, volumes 1 and 2. These books will be published soon. They will tell you, like the 11,000 scientists in a report published in November 2019 in the scientific journal Bioscience, that there is a world climate emergency. The world has to massively go vegan because animal agriculture is responsible for 18 to 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions, according to the World Watch Institute. And because the vegan diet is the best diet for our health, it gives us longevity, it's a fountain of youth, and most diseases can be healed thanks to this diet, according to a consensus of top world experts on health and nutrition, like Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Kim Williams, Dr. Neil Barnard, Dr. Robert Ostfeld, Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Michael Clapper, Dr. Kelly Turner, Dr. Tenta Mengo Bartley, Dr. Joel Kahn. So for those of you who watched the first video, please stay with us until I give you some new information. So, a crime against humanity and against vegetarian and vegan megastars has also been going on to stop this message of the benefits of the optimal vegan diet from being revealed to the public. About 8,814 people have been killed to retaliate against the progress we made during the investigations and my activism. But we have to subtract the victims mentioned in fake news. The stars were killed to prevent them from converting their millions of fans to their vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, and to prevent these stars from supporting the efficient and preventive medicine of the Physicians' Committee of Responsible Medicine, the PCRM, founded by Dr. Neil Barnard in 1985. For example, Christina Grimmie and River Phoenix were specifically famous stars and vegan activists. They were murdered for their activism in favor of veganism. It's one of the greatest scandals of this century. It's a crime against humanity, an international case on the urgency of vegetarianism and veganism for the people and the planet. So, what will your future self be on a vegan diet? There are 4 golden reasons to be a vegetarian and better a vegan. Number 1, you will have a perfect health, according to experts. Number 2, wisdom. You follow the way of the vegetarian and vegan sages and philosophers, and you follow the way of our ancestors, the first humans, who were vegetarians. Number 3, as for the environment and peace, so there is a world climate emergency. You help prevent the 6th mass extinction of species, including humanity. No wars against animals leads to no wars between humans. We demonstrate this statement in this video series and in the books. Number 4, you will reach toward your best self. You will have an exquisite beauty, a great physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual strength. You will have better physical performances. You will have a pacified mind, an emotional balance. You will have a higher level of conscience and spirituality. You will help create a more peaceful, fair, fraternal, and wealthy world. These claims are supported by experts and sages. You know, the vegan diet is adapted for pregnancies, babies, the general population, even for athletes who only have to eat more for their physical performances according to plant-based doctors, the Dietetists of Canada or the American Association of Dietetics. So who am I? What gives me the authority to write these books? I am the CEO of a training center that teaches English. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's level in English. I studied philosophy for a year at university. I passed the competitive examination to enter several colleges of engineering, including a general one specialized in robotics, one in the genius of material science, and in the genius of industrial systems and innovation. I was the first successor to Miss Vietnam at a beauty pageant in 1993 in France. I have been a peace activist, of human rights, vegetarianism, veganism, and environmental activist since 2013. I've been a volunteer investigator since then. Now I have a vegan diet, I'm 42 and I'm a French citizen. I live in France. So, for this video, I have a challenge for you. If you want to answer this question, what's the common point between these celebrities? The father of cybernetics, Norbert Wiener. The father of mass communications and the light bulb, Thomas Edison. The father of modern mechanics, Isaac Newton. The father of the motor of smartphones, Nikola Tesla. The father of the motor of hard drives of computers, Mr. Raman, Nobel Prize winner, Mahatma Gandhi. Reverend Martin Luther King. Rosa Parks called the mother of freedom. Steve Jobs, founder of Apple. I can give you a hint. Were they vegetarians or vegans? Well, yes, they were. Their contribution is impressive. We all benefit from what they have helped create. Robots, machines, cars, electricity of light bulbs, mass communication, computers, smartphones, a world that is more free. It is remarkable that these achievements were done to a great extent thanks to the vegetarian and vegan diet, which illustrates the fact that these diets boost our creativity and they help create a wealthier world and a world that is more fair and free. And besides, each one of us has the responsibility of the destiny of humanity, according to the Lakota Native Americans. Albert Einstein, who was a vegetarian, said, "Nothing will better increase the chance of survival of life on Earth and be more beneficial to human health than the evolution toward a vegetarian diet." He said, "If the whole world goes vegetarian, it will change the destiny of humanity." I think we should listen to Albert Einstein, to his genius, because there is a quote that says, "Intelligent people solve problems, geniuses prevent them." I think Albert Einstein is helping us prevent the sixth mass extinction of species and the extinction of humanity. So the challenge for the world in 2050 is that the question is, how will we feed 9 billion people in 2050? Among the solutions are that we have to go vegan because it's the best way to share natural resources. Herbert Reeves, an astrophysicist, says that if the whole world ate a Western diet, we would need 3 planets. We should also not participate in overpopulation. The other solutions are to participate in topsoil replenishment via organic farming. We can grow our own food and we can do composting, because experts say that we only have 60 more years of arable land left. So we should also be taking care of bees on whom we depend for the pollination of our plants. So these were among solutions to help feed 9 billion people in 2050. Now back to the books. World Emergency, Save Humanity, Go for the Healing Miracle of the Optimal Vegan Diet, and Stop the Crime Against Humanity, Volumes 1 and 2. These books are a memoir. They are an exclusive and rare investigation, originally written for the judges who could take care of this international case, the local public prosecutors, the European Court of Human Rights, the International Criminal Court, the UN Commission for Human Rights, the American Supreme Court. It is the result of the collective work of the vegetarian, vegan, and freedom movement. These books were written for all people of the world, interested in better understanding our world and refusing to believe in the conventional and imposed narrative. These books will tell you who this network of criminals is, what field they work in, the extent of their influence and actions. It's a sprawling international organization. You will know about the modus operandis they use. For example, they cover up their crimes with accidents, fake suicides, mob attacks. They can cause drug overdoses. They can force their victims to take drugs, drink alcohol, take prescription medicine, and accuse their victims of having done that themselves, which is an alibi for the network. They know everything about the life of their victims because they spied on them. They will use their life, their drawbacks, exaggerate the truths, kill their victims, and have an alibi for themselves. I will tell you about their use of the media, of fake news, of pseudo-terrorism to cover up their criminal activities. I will tell you about the vegetarian, vegan, and freedom movement. I will tell you what my activism has been and the retaliations of the network. I will give you concrete proofs of the existence of this network. I will show you their codes, the license plates they used, their hidden messages of which I cracked the codes on official documents. I will show you how the behavior of accomplices proves the existence of this network. I will explain the vegan bashing, which is fake news, to accuse vegans of offenses and even crimes, whereas scientists and doctors like Dr. Rodolphe Ballantyne or Dr. Candace Pert, a neuroscientist, say that vegans are peaceful and they have a friendly nature, whereas omnivores who ingest the hormones, neurons, chemicals of the animals who were slaughtered and who felt fear and pain. So these hormones, neurons, chemicals are responsible for the aggressiveness in humans when they eat animals. Professional observation of prison guards in the highest security prison in Alabama showed that inmates who were given a vegetarian or a vegan diet had less behavior problems. So that's according to Ingrid Newkirk, co-founder of PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I will give you advice to survive the attacks of the network as potential designated collateral victims or as vegan activists. You know, anybody in the world can become a designated collateral victim. It is a one-way international secret war. The main rule is to beware of anyone, any professional, anything, anywhere, and anytime. For example, the network will use locksmiths. They can have access to your house. They can have access to the room of the hotel you're at. They use food poisoning. Your communications can be spied on. They will use transport accidents. A car can hit yours. They will use indirect methods, false robberies. These robberies can lead you to more dangerous places when you try to get back your belongings. They use explosions. Bridges can fall. They can lure you with employment contracts to crime scenes. They use fake identities. Your neighbors can be accomplices. They can hack your computer, put false documents and pretend they're yours. They can hack your email inbox, delete emails, usurp your identity and write emails instead of you. They can use false deranged fans against stars. It's the smokescreen and mirrors of the network. They use false accusations. They can accuse people of false offenses, false crimes. They act like narcissistic perverts and they can accuse their victims of their own faults and their own crimes. They use mass shootings, hunting accidents, arsons, ram raids. They boasted they had 70 different ways of killing people, and I did find in the files I gathered 80 different attacks against people. They infiltrate movements to better control them. Even your spouse can be an accomplice. I mean, the spouse can kill the person they live with, and then nobody suspects the spouse. I will show you the harassment that the network did against people, sages, celebrities of the vegetarian, vegan, and freedom movement harassment against the world and against the activist that I am. They are very determined. I will show you the attacks that the network perpetrated on living beings, nature, animals. I mean, they killed people. They killed people in the vegetarian, vegan, and freedom movement. Their doctors, people like babies, children, teenagers, the general population. I will explain to you the serial murder of vegetarian or vegan stars to prevent them from converting their millions of fans to their vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, or support the preventive and efficient medicine of the Physicians' Committee of Responsible Medicine. For example, vegetarian or vegan Kurt Cobain. He had told Newsweek that he was preparing autobiographical elements in which he said he was a vegetarian. Vegan Cory Monteith. He had 4 million viewers with Glee. Vegan Prince, he was also preparing an autobiography which never came out. Vegan Michael Jackson. He was the most successful male singer at the time of his murder. Vegetarian or vegan Whitney Houston and her daughter Bobby Christina Brown were also killed. The daughter was killed to prevent her from continuing the vegetarian or vegan legacy of her mother. You will know who the other stars are. American athletes also died in suspicious accidents. I think it was a retaliation against the fact that more and more American athletes are going vegan and telling the media about it. I would tell you about the attacks against my family. Somebody died in my family. The network has also sabotaged my work, my job, research. So, at first, the network of criminals, they used indirect messages by leaving objects on the ground to harass me. There were also ads or newspapers with specific messages of harassment. I wondered if these were not just coincidences, but they started to accumulate in great numbers. One day I became sure that the network of criminals existed. It was the day that followed the day I watched an extract of a film about the Shoah via the internet provider I pay. So the network spied via this internet provider. A Jewish mother had been separated from her daughter in a concentration camp. So the next day, on the ground in front of my door, the network deposited with a single thread of a garbage bag 2 stars of David to give a death threat to my daughter and me, as if we were in a concentration camp. The 2 stars were very precisely made, so it was an impossible coincidence, and I had my first evidence that the network of criminals existed. Then I survived more than 85 murder attempts over 6 years. I explain how I escaped in the books. It was not easy. So this message is valuable because I was not supposed to be here talking to you about this. I've been stalked, harassed, given death threats every day for several years by the anti-vegan group to stop the publication of these books. My family and my entourage were also given death threats, but they were shown to me only. Therefore, for all these reasons, please take time to learn about the rest of this valuable message that I have to give you. We need your help to stop the international crime against humanity. So congratulations! Now you know the truth that the network has been trying to suppress so that it never reaches you, to protect the economic interests. So as doctors say, please go vegan for your health, for the world, for animals and the environment. Help save humanity and so many plant and animal species. Please also share this vital message, which will not be shared via traditional media, and take the veggie challenge. In the last video, I will tell you more about a distinctive feature I have, which explains my positioning, why my voice should be heard and taken into account, and I will tell you why this message has an utmost importance in your life. Thank you so much. Goodbye.